blown out there. So Lyon Gaming was looking for that first kill, or at least blow out some of those summoners so that easier gank potential can come in, but they weren't able to grab that. Now Messiah is able to just kind of camp down here mid, but again, Gragas versus Riven comes down to a little bit more the skill of the players, but if Uri can start doing that pressure and Lucian Sona can handle the bottom lane, WCG on this again, extend the 20-minute mark.
I'd be very surprised to see a Gragas be able to kill a Riven in lane 1v1 at almost any point in the game. After level 6 with the Gragas ultimate, there is that dispersion potential that can actually make a difference there, but Riven has access to so much damage between her broken wings and of course when she gets her ultimate, that execute damage coming out. Now the late invade comes out from Waterley. It's been completely not spotted here, and this is very key play.
So Clearlove is going to grab the blue. We have absolutely no indication that there was an invade going on, and Thyak actually did start off with his red. So he has no idea that he's supposed to be going over to the enemy blue at this point, and he's going to be very disappointed, Spider, when he comes up here and notices that there's a Lee Sin with his blue buff.
And guess what? Here comes Thyak. And this could be pain.
Clearlove going to be going for the kayak winning in the human vote. Not going to be a kill, but Clearlove showing that he has that blue. He can kill Thyak that early, and now we have no flash from Elise.
And Clearlove is clearly the alpha dog of the jungle here. We saw it last game where he just threw Vi out of her jungle. The same story here. Now has to use all her pots to sustain in the jungle here. And Lee Sin, he started Doran Blade, is super healthy here. He's feeling great.
Yeah, Messiah versus Riven will kind of be the matchup for us to keep our eyes on. But something to note here is that this is our first game today on the League of Legends Plus stream, and we actually haven't had a lane swap.
Interesting note, it is a 2v2 action, which it brings some of that old school flavor to the game here.
And there's that Visit combo you were talking about. Yuri going to be doing a little bit of damage here mid, but it's not going to be near a kill quite yet. But yeah, it is. It's going to be that 2-on-2 bottom. It is going to be Rengar versus Shyvana top, and every game seen always up to the Rengar out of lane. But that being said, it is Cao Mei.
Rengar definitely has the potential to come back into the matchup later on, as we see Messiah trying to get aggressive here. Lee Sin is nowhere to be seen, so there's actually potential for a 1v1 kill. And speaking of jungle pressure, Elise is considering her options in the top lane.
Could be in a little bit of trouble. There's the burnout. The rappel goes in. Flash forward does dodge out that cocoon. It's not going to be a kill whatsoever, but they did get that flash. So, you know, flash for a flash, but jungle pressure is now going to be top because we do got Elise up there. Looks like they're actually not quite done. Forky under the lane. They're going to go for Cao Mei. Thyak should be able to get the first blood, but no, it's going to be Clearlove in the back, and they didn't even get Rengar.
Cao Mei lives there on a sliver of health. Lovely, aggressive. Suddenly Lee Sin, you thought he had a good start when he stole away that blue buff. He's feeling great right now.
Like, as soon as that Elise gank happened, Lee Sin started making a beeline up to that top, and they thought they could take down Cao Mei in that top. Lots of damage here on top of Nerjur as well, but wow, 2-0 first blood and second, just like that to World Elite, and now, again, it's almost looking like last game.
And if I'm going to put out a bold prediction here, it's that Lee Sin is going to go back. He's going to pick up a sidestone with that double kill here. And suddenly the map is going to become lit up for Waterley. Because, of course, sidestone, it gives Lee Sin that mobility, a little bit of health. But crucially, the mobility for those jukes, but also the double effectiveness there of just overwarding the map and giving a lot more map presence to Waterley.
Hurting the map extremely left because then they'll have a lot of mechanisms with the safeguards to the wards and, you know, as you said, the double effectiveness of it all. We do got a ward there in the brush as well, so Thyak is going to get defeated on that gank. But something I just noticed is that Fizif actually doesn't have any items. He's used absolutely 100% of all his wards plus the biscuit.
Yeah, he had to use his consumables right there because he did take a turret shot trying to poke on the Sona here. LeBlanc supports a very interesting bait that puts you to crazy jukes that you wouldn't expect and some great engages. That chain is a very, very strong ability. But you have to be careful because Elise is here.
Yeah, speaking of that strong ability, Fizif able to bring Nerjo down half, but it is going to be the return damage there from Seiya. We also had Elise there in the back, and Clearlove was thinking maybe I can do something back here, but he's going to be way too late to that party. He might actually just camp out in the jungle and wait for Elise. He does have that ward there at the blue, and the blue's not going to actually be up for about another minute and a bit. So he does have a little bit of time to kill, and it does not look like Elise is going to fall for it this time. She's going to go straight back with the recall.
Watching the Elise versus Riven matchup in the mid lane, much credit has to go out. Sorry, the Gragas versus Riven matchup. My apologies there. Much credit has to go to Messiah here, just because he's actually ahead in CS against Riven, who isn't getting any resources in the mid lane. But credit to where credit's due, 9 CS is the advantage for Messiah.
One doesn't simply zone Messiah from mid.
Apparently not.
There's the barrel going through. Yuri's able to just clean up a lot of that creep wave. And a little bit of a roam now going out from Gragas. He might actually be setting up a gank, but it's going to be a 2-on-1 if this does come to pass. Again, that blue buff is going to be up fairly soon. Lee Sin nowhere near, but Thyak immediately repels as soon as Messiah gets that barrel down, and now Yuri is going to go in for the kill. That's going to be the ranged swing slash. There's the flash forward from Yuri. We already had the ignite, but Sona comes in as well as Clearlove and Vizif. It's not going to be the kill that we were looking for, but they did eventually get the grab, and now Clearlove could be in a little bit of trouble.
He wants to get the return kill on Thyak. It goes in anyway.
Clearlove thinking of it.
Smooth moves.
Ooh, that chain nearly hitting the Lucian. Sona, doing a little bit of damage in the back. She does not have that crescendo. She is only level 5. That could have made a huge difference in these matchups. But Nirjul is like, oh, that could be extremely deadly. But the rest of the team is going to be around there. They do get the cocoon on top of Weijia. That's going to be the flash. He's looking, shift back, repel with the flash, able to take home a kill. And Lyon Gaming, they didn't give up a kill. They got 2 more, and the third with Vizif now face planting. Could they be going for a dragon?
They definitely could right here, as we see Xiaomei in the top lane here. That's 3 kills in quick succession for Lyon Gaming here. Starting to wrestle back some of that advantage that Waterley have been able to grow. The dragon will actually put them ahead, but I don't know if Clearlove's ready to give this one up.
He doesn't look ready at all. Does he have actually a flash? He does. So he might safeguard in, look for the kill on top of Thyak. He might go for it, does grab the kill. Here comes Messiah as well, fresh from death, but down goes Lee Sin, and now Messiah has to deal with the 3-on-1. Does not have the cooldown for his explosive cast up yet. He's gonna be just drawing this out as long as he can, but going through that cliff is gonna be a huge goodie on top of Messiah. He does! The ward giving him the vision, and Messiah takes home the kill. You just do not zone Messiah.
I don't think Messiah is done. He has the explosive course cask available as well. Rip Sona.
R.I.P. in pieces. Weishao able to take home that one. Merchul. All of a sudden, 3 kills for Lyon Gaming turned into 3 more for World Elites.
And it's crazy to how long that engagement went for, just because Weishao died and was able to respawn and was in position to pick up that kill right there.
Yeah.
Such a strong engagement here. And after all of that, I thought that the pressure right there would have allowed World Elite, prevented them from stealing away the blue buff. But this might be a second blue buff steal by World Elite.
There's not going to be any kind of contest right here. I mean, that's what actually sold them in for Riven, because the time was perfect. But then the entire dragged out team fight ended up at 5-4, and the blue buff still goes to Messiah.
And we look up the top lane here. I mean, it has indeed been Shyvana handily winning those trades against Rengar, but not this game here for Court. A significant 31 CS advantage. No jungle pressure whatsoever in the top lane, and Xiaomei is kind of running away with this lane.
Also remember, the first bloods did happen on that gank on top of Xiaomei.
That's true.
Yeah, I've done the solo queue where I didn't get those, and you just don't come back to the top lane. Xiaomei is going to find Thyak. That's going to be the cocoon. Here comes Clearlove under the tower. Thyak does drop. They're going to go for the second on top of Porky, but Porky is fairly well defended at this point, and that means it's just going to be a 1-for-0, but that is why go up there.
Goes in with the resonating strike.
What
2
are you
quick
doing,
kills.
Porky?
And Clearlove suddenly, out of nowhere, has 5 kills this game.
5-1. Down south, it is Saya looking for the kill top of Vizif. Did land out some decent damage, but it's not going to be near fatal. Nirjul does have level 6 ready to go. Does have the crescendo. Where's the crescendo, Nirjul? I'm looking for it. But of course, that wasn't Vizif. That was his clone.
No, that was his clone there whatsoever. You see the blue? That's definitely not the Vizif that you're expecting. That's not the real Vizif right here for Colchester. And that's one of the disadvantages of the LeBlanc support, is very low base stats. Of course, whenever she gets hit by any of those Lucian abilities, even the Lucian auto attack, takes significant damage. Messiah, he tried to go for a roaming gang, instead eats about half his health worth of life right there.
But he does have the blue buff. He does have the mana. He's just body man. Riven, does she even have she does have her Wind Slasher ready to go. She does have that ultimate, but Messiah's still down here, Fizzif down here, Wei Zhao. This could be a pretty down and dirty tower gang. I mean, that tower is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Got to be looking for that explosive cast. We are going to get that Cocoon into the Sona ult, and that's going to be the kill on top of Messiah. Looking for the second on Wei Zhao. The Ignite does take her down, and that is going to be a 2-0 for Lyon Gaming. They should be able to just turn around and pay attention to the turret after this, but really well done by Lyon.
Absolutely. They've made those adjustments from the previous games, and Yuri critically has been in position for these roams here. It hasn't been Messiah catching out the enemy team. Yuri's been on his case the whole time, and they're going to pick up a turret here to go 1-to-1 in turrets. So back that edge, they'll lead up.
Do take the stance like they will. They're actually almost even in gold now.
It's a very, very significant thing to say. But there's no way that Shyvana is equal in gold with Rengar here. Xiaomei, 102 CS to 56, almost doubling Shyvana's CS right here. Has that sun spike, looking oh so scary as that Werecat top.
Yeah, Rengar is able to just burn out the Dragon. Just as you said, double the creeps. This is very atypical of what we've seen here before on our streams. But again, just a testament to the skill level of Xiaomei and just his experience in these top lanes. Able to clean out these creeps, no problem. Clearlove, his good buddy Clearlove coming up here. That is for sure going to be an engage on top of Corki.
Still a very risky engage given just how tanky Corki is. Of course, Shyvana's passive gives her extra armor and magic resist after a couple of levels there, and it's in 5-level intervals, so looking very tanky it is there. I mean, the meta actually does support Xiaomei right now, just because Rengar, if you think back to Season 2, the end of Season 2, the tanky Rengar build that was popularized by Stanley, Xiaomei perfected that as well with the Spirit Vision into the Sunfire Cape. Same stories coming out here. So tanky, so much healing, such a thorn in the side, and just AoEing down.
With the Jiraj, this bottom wave. He has himself a lot of the components for a Trinity Force, but so does Lucian at this point. No 10-minute Trinity Forces here, folks, but it's probably going to be closer to the 15, 16-minute mark. It's typically a bit more normal in this regard, but 7-6, Lyon Gaming basically on par in terms of gold with World Elite, and a much stronger game number 2.
I want to comment here on Messiah's build. You remember in the Orianna versus Zed matchup that we saw the previous time World Elite played here today, Messiah went for that early Seeker's Arm Guard. He was scared of the assassination potential right there, and he forgoed the early Athene's Unholy Grail, which of course is so critical on a champion like Orianna. With the Gragas here, he actually is going to build in magic resist and the Athene's Unholy Grail, so not itemizing armor at all against his lane, building that, but not what we see in the early damage trades.
Well, Messiah's been just doing fantastic in the mid, even without the Seeker's Arm Guard. We tried to get a team fight going there in the mid, but it just was not meant to be. Lyon Gaming have to kind of figure out what they want to do next. It does look like Dragon could be on the menu. They are going to throw down the pink ward. They do notice it isn't warded, but Clearlove, as you did correctly predict, he did get himself a Sightstone. In fact, he is the only Sightstone for his team.
And the Ancient Golem has been the snowball choice for Clearlove here. He's going to go for a solo steal once again here, very risky.
And he gets it! Oh my goodness! Clearlove, the god! The ward going out as well into the safeguard, and Lyon Gaming just kind of sitting there with their mouths open saying, what was that?
Lyon Gaming went all in on securing the dragon there. At the dragon stick, look at the snowball of that one decision by Lyon Gaming.
So Lyon Gaming putting all their eggs in the basket of the dragon. The basket broke. They didn't get any eggs at all, and now losing out that red. It's just,
Easter is cancelled.
Oh my goodness, like salt in the wound at this point. Team World Elite is starting to take that lead back very handily, up 2,000 gold now, but objectives, objectives, objectives. We've said it time and again, but impeccable objective control from these Asian teams.
Xiaomei goes to take away the golems here. The CS advantage is still massive, still over 50 CS. Most likely going to work on the Spirit Visage here, but not a lot of magic damage actually coming out from the side of Lyon Game. No dedicated AP mid, of course, at least does that percentage damage from the jungle here. Probably, I would imagine, a Thorn Mail and maybe just a Negatron Cloak coming out from Rengar.
Actually, it was in our last matchup, the semifinals. We had the Shyvana with the Sunfire, with the Thornmail going into the Randuins, and we have seen that on Rengar before as well. So yeah, I mean, typical item builds, nothing really out of the ordinary. Really, you did bring up Gragas a little bit. I mean, Lucian, physical damage. Shyvana does have her twin strikes available, and then, of course, Riven, 80 semi-assassin there in the mid, more bruiser, but he doesn't go for anything, and it hasn't really impeded him at all. He still has a kill, and he does have more CS, but Riven is actually sitting at 303. She's been part of all 6 kills for Lyon Gaming, so that might give her a slight money edge.
And worth knowing that Gragas, of course, does have that deceptive tank ability coming out of his W ability, the Drunken Rage, which of course gives him that 15 to 18% damage reduction. But that will reduce it, as we see now. The blue buff here. It turns out that Rengar is going for the Spirit Visage here. I really do like that because it synergizes so well for a champion who's all about wars of attrition. Rengar wants to sit in top, and every time that he uses that empowered roar, he gets the 400 heal right there. And even though Shyvana does so much damage over time, the war of attrition will always go towards Rengar because he has that self-heal. Yeah, we have been noticing that time and again in this matchup, especially with Xiao Mei up there. But we just saw the gold just really quickly there, but Rengar far above that of Shyvana. The Lee Sin way ahead of our Elise, but it is Riven with the slight gold advantage, about 400 gold up over top of this Rengar. It is Ezreal with a slight gold advantage over top of the Lucian, but the lowest gold in the game is actually that LeBlanc. Lucia doing some damage to Clearlove here. Clearlove's got the early lot of money. Yeah, however.
Over 1,000 gold between the two, the supports.
Yeah, Ruby Sightstone, the Philo Stone, now the Oracle. So using that advantage with Vision. Messiah split pushing there. Picks up another turret.
We've been seeing a lot of split pushing from a lot of the Asian teams, like 4-1 or 1-3-1 as well. Messiah able to pick up the turret. It's going to be the engage here from Thag, but he gets kicked right into Messiah, and he's not going to get anything for his troubles. And wow, top lane, Xiao Mei and Porky are still just going one-on-one. But in terms of the raw stats, I really do think World Elite could take this fight in the mid.
I think so too. They're just ahead in terms of effective items here. Only 3,000 gold is the advantage, but it's been spent very, very well here. But that Riven is super scary. She's getting her Bloodthirster stacks on right now. She's got a Brutalizer, or if the enemy dive in, if Lyon dive in and get the team low, that execution damage from Riven's ultimate will take out a whole team.
Fizz coming up at the top, just going to poke down Porky a little bit. Yuri's just chase off Clearlove, but I mean, Porky's basically glued to this tower. If he leaves this tower, Xiao Mei's going to take it down. If he doesn't leave the tower, well, he keeps Xiao Mei up there, but he's not going to be very useful to his team, and like Thiak just keeps losing hit points after hit point. Just the pressure is still on these other lanes, and there's nothing that Porky can do about it. And
the interesting thing about the Rengar versus Shyvana matchup is that Rengar actually has the advantage over Shyvana when it comes to grouping with his team, just because when he activates that ultimate on the hunt, that long burst of a movement speed will get him into a team. He'll be able to stealth in and get an engage going there. Shyvana, a very quick champion, but without hitting minions, don't ask for a few engage tool for Rengar.
So we're still kind of doing this war of attrition in the jungle. Basically, like, the top third of the map is very much not a safe zone for Lyon Gaming. It's basically anything behind their towers or up to it. They can't even go into their own jungles at this point. They're just getting basically bottled up, and more gold being poured into the pockets here of Team World Elite. They do take out the creeps, they do take out the jungles. They've been doing a lot in terms of their shopping. And, you know, as I said, Rengar in the top, all that farm, all that pushing is now equated to a Spirit Visage.
Yeah, 2 big shops come in as with a little bit of cheeky poke here, you know. He's only a support LeBlanc, not quite the assassination damage coming out there. Spirit Visage completed on Rengar here. That just means he's going to have more wave clear more often with the 20% cooldown reduction. Also, there's going to be so much more effective. Clearlove face checking Nozul here. Both of them a little bit scared to engage.
Nuzul definitely a little bit scared, but here comes Xiao Mei with that ult. Fizziv now in the back as well. They're going to go on top of Porky, but that was the Dragon Descent, and now the burnout is going to be the end of that fight, but they are going to relieve that pressure and just turn it back in on that top lane, as Wei Zhao has just been holding down this mid, but he has a Trinity. He almost played it as well.
Here, just stealing away some experience in the enemy team. He might be in trouble, though. He's able to safeguard away to a ward, and the danger of what's been happening in the current 5 to 6 minutes of this game. Look at the CS advantages. 40 CS is the advantage in top. 30 CS has been opened up in middle. 25 CS or so is the 80 carry advantage here. World Elite are slowly growing their advantage against.
Wow, Messiah actually feeling threatened enough to throw down that flash. Going to be trying to run away from this combo, this Riven, as well as the Elise. Execute not actually able to land. The barrel will go out for Messiah, but he will not be able to get away from this dynamic duo. It was a good dodge on the wind slash, but just not enough to get him out of that sticky situation.
And WCG not able to transition those two members bottom into any sort of global objectives here. Still see Rengar up at the top. The ultimate just can't go with a stealth assassination, but trying to push in confidently is Xiaomei. There's
that double battle cry and the safeguard coming in from Clearlove. Essentially, again, it's just bottling up Lyon Gaming, but Lyon Gaming just, they want to burst out of their cage at this point, and it looks like Clearlove is going to be their target. Yuri's going to come around from the back, looking to actually cut him off, but that dragon kick is going to keep him alive for now. Fizzif now could be in trouble. There goes the LeBlanc passive as Calmay is in and dirty with the team of Lyon. He's going to be losing his hit points at a pretty decent rate. And there we go. Thyak is going to be able to take down the kill. This is going to transition into a dragon, but Wei Xiao's the only healthy member of World Elite here.
Yeah, there was just nothing Wei Xiao could do. Put out a few auto attacks. He's poking around the dragon here. Lee Sin is alive for us.
Read the Van figured it out. The repel keeping Thyak extremely healthy, but you know, Wei Xiao, he did throw down that true shot barrage as well. Didn't hit anyone. Good dodge coming out there from the Lucian. Messiah's back into the game now, but you know, Lyon Gaming all of a sudden back to gold parity.
And compared to the last game where World Elite grew a lead and just put a confidence, they were about 15,000 gold. The game was basically over this time last time.
Yep.
This time, however, only
stronger.
500 gold is the lead for World Elite here. Looking much stronger aligned. They've made those adjustments we've talked about, and they're playing confidently.
Yeah, they have. You know, this is a team. Again, they can take experience under their belt, and they learn from it extremely quick. And you know, Porky, he's going to find Wei Xiao. Wei Xiao is just going to entertain the race for a little bit there, but he will eventually, you know, go home and do a little bit of shopping. But the big end has been last with that, so very likely he's going to get a long sword on top of that. Porky just able to clear out a little bit of the creeps, but again, like World Elite, they actually don't have the kill lead anymore, but they still got that creeps. They still got more global gold under their belt. So it's a really big testament here to Lyon Gaming that they're able to, you know, bring the gold within 500.
Absolutely, they've made those adjustments, like we said. The pickaxe is actually the pickup from Wei Xiao here, as we see a significant amount of challenge with Fizzif here.
The Riven wind slash at the end, almost enough to bring it down, but they did trigger out the passive again, and Fizzif, you know, obviously that's not going to be the real one. He's going to have to head on home, so if this is going to be a team fight, Rengar's in the top, doing a transition down. It's going to be a 3-on-5 situation, but Clearlove, no fear, goes in, gets a little bit delayed, but he did get a kill out of it as well. Messiah and Wei Xiao still able to do some damage. Here comes Xiaomei from the back. He's looking for that jump. He is going to find on top of Yuri. Messiah is going to shut down the Riven. Thyak now going to be in trouble. He's going to drop as Wei Xiao picks up the kill. Messiah will drop, but Porky could be in some trouble with Xiaomei chasing him.
Yeah, Xiaomei will continue to chase that. Wei Xiao cannot afford to. Savona and magic damage keeps ticking in. When Shyvana's running away, Wei Xiao looked to kill off the Lucian there, but Lucian was able to escape. Backs and gets back to base.
Testament to the tanky dragon, but Wei Xiao was not able to find the next kill. He actually guessed incorrectly, but still, he's able to come down here and put up some tower damage. Has to deal here with Lucian, but overall, I mean, Lucian 115 does have the Trinity and a BF sword, but Wei Xiao seems so much stronger.
Definitely does on this Ezreal here. Camping a brush here, hoping to pick up the assassination kill on Lucian. Smart check of the brush with that W.
Fizzif is going to be in and around the area. It does have that Oracles as well, but Sona is also there. So, you know, Wei Xiao backing out, not a terrible idea. And in terms of, you know, shopping, in terms of cash, I can't imagine that Wei Xiao has a limited amount. He should pick up the Ruin King fairly soon. You see Messiah with a death cap after all that, and you know, the double sight stone doing really well for World Elite. As you said, kind of double dips in efficiency for Clearlove, but he's looking for the kill on top of Show, doesn't quite land the Sonic Wave.
Now Wei Xiao, he has the double buffs here, so obviously a threat with that CC that's available here. Lucian's over to the side here. We might see an engage, at least he's in trouble.
Yeah, Thyak is going to get that repel to the creeps. A really favorite spot's going to come down, just cover his retreat. Body block for that Clearlove, but it looks like at least it's going to be okay for now, but the red buff was up, and Clearlove is going to be able to take that back. Wei Xiao already has the red and blue, and Seiya taking the blue for the team of Lyon Gaming. That means you don't really have it on the Riven, so I guess that actually doesn't matter that much, since it isn't on the middle. Cooldown, the cooldown.
Well, I mean, Seiya's already, so yeah, Yuri's already committed to 25% CDR, so 40% CDR on Riven gives so much uptime on the broken wings. It's actually very, very powerful. I guess it was just a case of they were hoping it wasn't stolen away by World Elite, so they just claimed it on someone like Lucian, who still is able to put out those damage trades more effectively here, more frequently, as the Messiah auto-attacking the mid turret here. So much map pressure coming out from World Elite. 3 turrets to 1, they're trying to...
And that has been kind of the theme of this game. Like, World Elite keeps trying to bottle up Lyon Gaming, but you can't really put a Lion in a cage for that long to get enraged, and they just come out with paws swinging, and they've been taking good chunks out of World Elite.
You've been waiting all day to bring that one out there.
Maybe.
Very, very, very nicely done there for COD. So looking at the items once again, everyone's looking very strong on the World Elite side, actually skipping over the Blade of Ruin Kings for here. That's because so much armor on Shyvana because of her passive and the Sunfire Cape. Weijiao's going to have to deal with that Shyvana, so he's hoping that that poke is going to stick on the enemy team. What better way than picking up the Last Whisper?
Well, we're going to have to see what Shyvana can do. Here he is. He's going to Dragon's Descent into the back, looking for Messiah. The culling going to come out, does clear out the creep waves, but pretty much nothing else. Xiao Mei looking for that backline engage. Yuri goes forward. The Riven, however, is just going to drop. Xiao Mei able to take home that kill, and now the rest of Lyon Gaming are all clumped up. That's not where they want to be. Porky is in there, but Weijiao with that Last Whisper, as he said, penetrate that natural armor. Double kill comes out for Rengar, and Elise is going to just use the repel, try to get away out of this one, as Lee Sin and company are going to be looking for it, but they've impacted the Lyon Gaming. End up being Lucian as well as Elise, but a 3-for-1.
And that ethereal chain was so close from LeBlanc as well, but couldn't pull it off. They're going to pick up at least mid-turret here, but there's more global gold for World Elite. They're starting to grow a gold lead here. But every time World Elite gets 2 to 3k, and we're scared they might go out of touching distance in terms of advantage, Lyon Gaming have been pulling it back, so let's not write off Lyon Gaming just yet. And
speaking of 2 to 3k, it is that 3,000 mark again. Feels like we've been here 2 to 3 times this matchup. 28 minutes, and Lyon Gaming still have a good chance of bringing this back into a win so we can have a game number 3. But some of these engages are starting to favor World Elite a little bit too heavily. Those items that we were talking about, the gold advantage is always great. Another dragon going into the pockets of World Elite. And I almost feel like, Weijiao,
he just certainly doesn't have the same score as he did last game, where it was just dominating his Lucian here, but looking super strong, working on that Blade of the Ruin King now, just to have that self-peel option against Shyvana in a team fight here. Xiao Mei is super strong as well. Actually going for the Brutalizer. There's going to be the Youmuu's Ghostblade coming out of Xiao Mei. That's a favorite pickup on Rengar by PDD from Invictus Gaming, who loves to go for that assassination Rengar, focusing on building into that Xiao Mei's build here. But it does give him duel, and that's building into the Youmuu's Ghostblade.
Yeah.
Avarice Blade and Brutalizer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I must have blanked on that. I do apologize, Papa Smithy.
But Ghostblade makes Rengar even more potent of an assassin when he activates on the hunt, and we might be going for a fight right here.
Well, we're thinking of it, but small spaces seem to actually not really favor gaming at this point. If they do that, they don't really have too many options in terms of getting over them, whereas Rengar can jump over them, Clearlove can just go through them. Thiak, however, could just take a little bit too much damage here. Xiao Mei just wait for the spider to come back. Xiao Mei could be in a little bit of trouble, but now he's going to get the safeguard. There wasn't any follow-up after that Cocoon. Still, again, the bottling effect. We're putting Lyon in that cage. We're going to have to see if history will repeat it, and the Lion comes out swinging.
Watching World Elite here, they tried to put pressure onto that inhibitor turret, but smart use of the culling coming out from Lucian there stopped that push in its tracks.
Wow,
Baron is an option here. They have the oracles available. They have some decent ward coverage here. They're at least going to consider the bait, but we'll have to see whether they can follow through.
Were there any wards that they would have walked through to signify that they're going for the Baron? But because on top of that, World Elite is in the Baron area, but they do got a ward there in the back now. Fizif is going to be able to take that down. But Xiao Mei, he's going to go for a kill here. He does get not only Lucian, but that Riven. Weijiao with the perfect true shot barrage does grab the kill. Thiak now going to be running for it. Clearlove looking for the Sonic Wave, gets it. There's the cripple. Weijiao is going to be coming up here. There's the Arcane Shift, and the repel is going to be enough, but Thiak going the other way. It's good to take him away from the goal of their base, but 2 for 0, and again, World Elite come out ahead.
So the Baron is free at this point with 2 members down, including the jungler here, so no smite will be available. That seems to be the pick up here. As we see Clearlove jump over the wall, They could go for the push through mid. They're kind of split between two options here as Porky tries to clear the Baron.
The Riven is, and they know they're going to be converging here on top of the Baron, but you know, again, the double sight stones, or the warding potentials coming out real strong here for World Elite. Fiziv able to go over the wall. The ward does go down. They will notice that Baron hit points, but it's too little too late. The Team World Elite, all 5 members, all super healthy, all with a Baron buff, and they're up to 6,000 gold. This is the biggest lead they've had this game.
And this is the first time the Lyon game have not been able to wrestle back some control in this game as World Elite. Now they have the Baron, which is a massive advantage. Obviously, gives stats over and above that 6k gold lead there. The effective stats with that buff applies. Lyon game, they're still trying to hold on. They're still trying to keep their inhibitor turrets. Crucially, none of those are down just yet. But you feel like World Elite's finally decisively on top.
Well, the landing split push potential comes out. Clear up in this bottom lane. It was a 4-1 split. He's just going to be able to clear out this creep wave. It will draw at least 2, but it looks like 3 members of Lyon Gaming to this bottom tower, so it should survive for now. But Clear Love, like, job done. He distracted them down here. The rest of the team's going to go back, and like Lyon Gaming is not going to be able to get any objectives off this.
No objectives whatsoever. The Blade of the Ruin King is now finished on Ezreal, potentially walking towards an Infinity Edge here as we see the big pickaxe pickup coming out here. The Ghost Blade is completed on Rengar. That's 30% cooldown reduction just from those 2 abilities, and also some serious assassination potential coming out of that Yomu's Ghost Blade. Look, even Lee Sin is getting in on the action, has a Brutalizer himself.
Well, we have been seeing a few Ghost Blades this entire tournament. In fact, the only version was in our last semifinal game, like game number 3. That's the first time I've seen a cleaver this tournament. So, you know, the rise of Yomu. They knew Yuri was in the bush. Cao Mei able to make a little bit of damage. True Shot will hit 2 members here of Lyon, but that tower has seen better days. The calling going to come out. It will keep it alive just a little bit longer. Wei Zhao, however, has something to say about it. 2 shots down. But with the explosive cast, what a great repel. But the flash forward there from Thyak is going to keep him alive for now. The ticking damage from Messiah is just so much at this point. Almost taken down Elise. But hey, she has to go back. Clear Love was split pushing again. And that's going to be the danger of another tower.
And crucially, World Elite have 2 lanes pushing here. The double crescendo comes in. Here we go.
Yeah, Porky goes into the back line after that crescendo. They're looking for these kills, but they're not really landing any kind of damage. Clear Love really the only one hurt at this point as Porky has to limp away back to the fountain. Now we got no tower here. Fiziv and Clear Love, they're going to be here in the front line. Wei Zhao could probably just take down Sona immediately. He's gonna. That burst damage is so high. The exhaust coming down on top of Riven as Fiziv ties him up. Shao, Yuri, and Porky going to be joining in at the back of the base. But that's not where you're going to be to defend these inhibitors. And it is looking like a 2-0 now for World Elite.
2 inhibitors have fallen there. Very smart play overall. Fiziv, amusingly, is the one that tries to push up this minion wave.
He almost like casual. It's just like...
And players might be wondering why we don't see the Black Cleaver and why we see the Ghost Blade so much in the Chinese scene, especially as we see an explosion going on to Yuri. He's dead.
Yeah, Yuri's dead, and we're going to blame the Ghost Blade.
I mean, the strong thing about Ghost Blade is it obviously gives you those combat stats. It gives you that 20 armor penetration. It's very useful in assassination situation, but it's also great for pushing down turrets. Rengar is already very fast at pushing down turrets. Activating that Ghost Blade on a short cooldown trains down turrets himself.
Porky going to get tied up by Fiziv. Basically, it's too little too late. It's a 4v5, and we still got Baron, and nobody dead here from World Elite. 18-12 and 12,000 gold, the biggest lead we've had this game, as Porky and crew basically can't do anything here in the back. They're going to go for the count of Fiziv. They don't actually get it, but still, their inhibitor, their Nexus tower does stand, so credit to him taking out.
He does fall after the Blade of the Ruin King is used there. And it feels like World Elite, this might be their time to shine. This might be their time to finish off this game. And it looks like we're going to be giving World Elite $10,000 here. 3rd place should be acquired, but they're just trying to make it safe here. There's still a red pot Yuri running at them here on Riven.
We have a crescendo. In fact, we have all the ultimates ready to go here from Lyon Gaming. There it is. Crescendo top of Messiah. Doesn't matter. Still deletes Sona. That base health of a minion kind of showing at this end game because she only has that Ruby Sightstone, so not exactly the tankiest when it comes to it. Yuri is going to take down their support in response, but she cannot stand up to the bite of Wei Zhao, who is now sitting at 8-2-4, very reminiscent of last game.
Absolutely. He can't hold a good man down, and Wei Zhao doing well this game, showing why he's such a feared AD carry. The last of the turrets is so close to falling here, and kind of distracted by Shyvana for a bit there, who does pull the aggro of one of the siege minions, which is very important.
Porky is just trying to, proxy farm, delay that creep wave from coming in. Xiao Mei here, looking for the kill top of Thiak. Wei Zhao is actually almost going to get it. He actually gets return damage instead. He's to go. Keshav actually hit a Spiderling, believe it or not. Was not able to take the Spider, and now World Elite, they've overstayed their welcome.
And critically, he did actually Arcane Shift into the Cocoon from Elise. So awkward there to Arcane Shift into that point and click CC right there. And he's gone back, he's bought an Infinity Edge, so it's even stronger. And the items just made that when they get back are going to be so powerful. But,
straight out Infinity, my goodness.
He had a pickaxe, so most of an Infinity Edge completed, but the item advantage tells the story here. 13,000 gold is the lead. So much credit has to go to Lyon Gaming, though. Multiple times in this game have they been able to come back from what looked like the start of a snowball by World Elite. This final snowball, however, has kind of counted them out of this game. Yeah,
they're clinging on by their fingernails, but sometimes you just kind of let go. And Lyon Gaming, credit where credit due. They only lost to, as you said, teams in the top 3 leagues of the world. If Lyon Gaming can improve this much since the wild card, then who knows what's going to be in their future next year.
Sky's the limit.
Exactly right. So they might not get the money, but they can say that they came to WCG 2013 with the top 20 teams on a schedule.
And that is to say back as Xiao Mei is activated, the Yoma's Ghost Blade is going in.
Going on top of Porky, which is, I don't know, that's a tough cut of pork right now. She didn't really take that much damage, but hey, the pressure was there. Lyon Gaming do retreat back. The lone inhibitor is still standing, the only one that has not perished in this fight. Clearlove, however, going to go in and decides better of it very quickly.
The culling activator there doesn't really get very much damage onto World Elite. This inhibitor is going to fall here. Of course, the Nexus is still naked. You have to think this game is very close to being over.
There's the trifecta of inhibitors. We got some wards out there as well. We are going to find Fizzif there off into the corner. He's just been able to dash away, but it's all about Wei Zhao. Can we get the kill on top of Wei Zhao? No, we can't. Messiah takes it instead. True shot does not hit Yuri. Would have been the final nail in the inhibitor had better, and it will drop. So congratulations to Team World Elite, your third